Welcome back to horse racing today on Hump Day with Terry Hay at Tampa Bay. You didn't know that I am Dr. Seuss in my previous life, did you?
No, I didn't. That was pretty good rhyme there.
Yeah. Was that is that a limerick or do you remember all the rhymes from like English class? I don't. The only one I
No.
remember is limerick, and there's like another one I can't remember the name of it, but my daughter reminds me of them all. A simile or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Carol, the English teacher, will fill us in on all of the different types of poems that and rhymes that we've forgotten and how we use them in horse racing. I have no idea, Terry. Well, one thing is you and I, we rhyme a lot today, or we actually match a lot today on
Yeah.
a lot of our picks early on. So it's kind of interesting day. It's either going to be very chalky or we're both going to be very wrong. We'll find out as the day progresses. One day today, tonight, Terry, if you're sitting around wrapping presents or whatever it is you're doing on this Wednesday night, if you head over to the Guaranteed Tip Sheet down in the link in the description below, you'll find free picks tonight starting at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for Penn National, Sean's favorite track, a good friend of ours. Tyler Connor used to work there. Now he's gone to Kentucky. Good luck, Tyler, down there as well. Terry, you ready for today?
I am.
All right. Before we get started, though, let's say hello to Armando Garcia. Yeah, Charles will come in here one of these days with some of the best handicappers I've ever seen. Thank you. Make sure you share that with your friends if you agree with Armando Garcia. We greatly appreciate his kindness there, Terry. And of course, Melvin Torres coming on board today as well. Sure, we'll have Melvin's thoughts on some pick fours, pick fives. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, hey, if you want to say Terry and I are great, we'll never stop you. Use the section over there for the comments.
Yep.
Would you stop me, Terry? I wouldn't.
No.
All right. So race number one, as our good friend Armando Garcia just jinxed us, we're sure to get nothing right today, Terry, but we'll give it a crack. What's going on here?
It's a 6 furlong race. It's a claiming race for $5,000 claiming price. Purse of $18,500. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won 2 races since June 20th.
June 20th, on this cold day in Chicago. How I wish it were June 20th today. 6 furlong profile of a winner at the nice, sunny, and warm Tampa Bay Downs track. Early speed does great. 35% of the time, Terry, the horse gets to the front and wins. Pretty strong rail bias for Warcross, for Pirate Racing. Boy, you got to just love all that combination there. 2 and 3 play a little bit under par. 4 through 7, they also play under par. 8 and out, you get a little bit of a bonus. So we do 1,000 simulations here, Terry, using our speed figures to calculate what we hope are fair odds. What we want to see is our simulation odds be lower than post-time odds so we can get a little bit of value. Par Plus tells you how many, based upon those 1,000 simulations, how many times a horse produced a speed figure above par for this level. So you can see in race number one, speed figure is 82, 56% of the time in our simulations. Astronaut Oscar did better than that. We check for speed. We want to see who has the best chance to have the lead at the quarter-mile marker. And based upon how fast those 1,000 races are projected, how likely the pace is to mirror or match the best or winning performances for these horses. Terry, looks like one of them is lightning quick when the gates open.
Yeah, that 2 has lots and lots of speed. The 4 has some speed. A couple others show some minor speed. And the 2 has a small overlay from 4 to 5 to even one money. The 5 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 7 to 2. And then as far as the par numbers go, the 2 and the 5 are the only 2 that have par numbers, pretty nice ones. All of them, but the 1 and 3 have decent C-zone numbers.
Yeah, so you see horses that should be pretty comfortable with there. Terry and Rich would get Jared. Bet the 5-horse race 5 Turfway tonight, 12 to 1 Osterville Public. And I knew Melvin would have some great thoughts for us. 1, 2, 5 with the 4, 6 with the 5, 3 with the 9, 11 on the back end of that. It's going to single up the 4. Good luck with that, Melvin. Screenshot that, folks. So if you're interested in playing along with Melvin, make sure you do so. All right, Terry. We also do what's called pace handicapping. Basically, we plot out where horses run their best. So the 1, 4, and 5 run best if they're close to the front or on the lead. That's the E horse. The EP can be pilot or co-pilot. Nobody pressures the horses ordinarily. There's not a pressure closer in here. The 3 and the 6, they want to close. The NC designation means horses that haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line and up to their last 10 races. And of course, the first is your first-time starter. Lots of speed here, Terry. Maybe the 3 and the 6 can come off the pace if they go too fast early on. Beast or Famine, the fastest of all of the front runners, Terry, about 1 length quicker than everybody else, but certainly seems to lag at the end because the late speed belongs to the 2-horse, Astronaut Oscar. So in all likelihood, the 4 goes to the lead. The 2 sits in second or third, tries to use that extensive late pace advantage over the rest of the field. And that does give it a 5-point total pace advantage over the other speed horse in here. Roger McQueen, the first closer to show up. According to this, Terry, the 2 wins by a little bit more than a length. What do you think?
Yeah, I do like the 2, Astronaut Oscar. He won his last race at Colonial Downs and drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. And then I like the 5, Tap'em, as my second choice. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. And this trainer wins 33% of the races when taking a horse from the all-weather service to a dirt service, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And the jockey in the last 7 days have been in the money 10 out of 16 starts with 4 wins, a second, and 5 thirds. And then I like Warcross, the 1. He ran second versus similar in his last race. Rail Post is winning at a 20% clip, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. My long shot is Roger McQueen. He has a high percentage winning trainer and switches a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a $2 daily double. I'm going to use the 2 with the 4 and the 7.
Well, the 2, surprisingly, at the moment, is not a big favorite. In fact, its odds have drifted up a little bit. We have it basically at 4 to 5 being fair value, 2 to 1 with 2 minutes to post in race number 1 there. The 6-horse, Roger McQueen, taking on some action, Terry. He's the second favorite, or the third favorite right now at 5 to 2. And then the 5 horses right there also at 2 to 1. So 3 main horses in here, it looks like, according to the people on the ground at Tampa Bay Downs and people making their bets across the country. As for me, I think Astronaut Oscar did run the top last race speed figure, going to drop in class. We saw that strong total pace advantage over the rest of the field. Really good chance to be the pace setter and has that very strong par plus. Whenever we see all these numbers, Terry, line up, I mean, I can't say all the time those horses win because there's nothing that works all of the time, but a lot of the time those horses win, and you're still getting value right now on Astronaut Oscar. Tap'em, the 5 horse, is the other par plus horse in here, also showing a little bit of an overlay right there. Resume says that he will likely be better in the second start after a layoff. The 1 horse, Warcross, got that hot rail there, Terry. Strong at Tampa Bay, 6 races, 2 wins, 3 seconds in there. And last time, all of its race internals were better from the beginning to the middle to the end. And then finally, Roger McQueen, as you mentioned, Terry, first off the claim for trainer Larry Ravelli. The horse really hasn't shown a whole lot of pace. Larry does win at 33% of the time on first-time claims. And I got a feeling you're going to see a change in form today out of that 6, and that Larry is going to tell the jockey to send him. What do you think?
Yeah, I do. I already went through mine, so
yeah. Well, I'm just thinking what you think about that. I'm going to do an exact key box. I thought we would get better odds on the 6, so I was just taking a little bit of a chance there with the 6 key box of the 1, 2, 5. Let's see if maybe we get a little bit better odds.
Yeah,
they're working their way towards the
3
game.
horse. Yeah, 3 horses are 2 to 1 right now.
Yeah, so almost should take the 1 horse in its place, right? Because it's 5 to 1. But you're not getting fair value odds right now. It looks like the best bet in the race really is the 2 horse, because 4 to 5 is our line, and he's at 2 to 1. So you're getting a little bit more than 2 times what you should get to play the 2 horse, Terry.
Yep, that sounds right.
Do I make the change?
If you do, you're going to be sorry.
Yeah, that's how it
And if you don't, you're going to be sorry.
Just in a no-win situation, as they say. Right?
That's right. Because if you make the change, it's not going to work. And if you don't make the change, then you're going to say, oh, I should have done it. Because that's what's going to happen.
We have a moment. If you get a chance today, head on over to the mothership, horseracingtoday.net. There's a link to that in the description as well below. While you're there, kindly hit on the HRT gear, a good way to support the show. And hey, before a stroke happens, this will happen to you. So keep an eye out. We give you some great health information there, apparently, too. Thank you, Google. So orders will be delivered after Christmas now. That's all right, folks. But you can get yourself a great See you in the winner's circle, Hat. You're not going to get that anywhere else on the planet, Terry. You got a lot of good trucker colors in there. So if you like North Carolina, there you go. If you're a little bit about the Raiders, there you go, right? So if you like that one looks good for the nice 4th of July party, red, white, and blue. Again, you can get that over at horseracingtoday.net. Great way to support the show and almost look as good as Terry. Are they finally getting ready to go for race number 1 as I try to kill a bunch of time here?
Yeah, I think so. They're getting pretty close.
Yeah, it looks like they're all mostly loaded up in the gates right now. It looks like we're just waiting on a couple of horses. The 2-horse continues to be a value play, Terry, at 2-1. The 5-horse is 2-1, and the 6-horse is 2-1.
Yeah.
It looks like the 2 has slightly taken over favorite status, so I wouldn't be surprised to see its odds drop a little bit as the gates open, but maybe not. All right.
Jared says bet the 5.
Bet the 5. Well, and they're off and running, Mr. Terry. And the 2-horse has indeed taken off to the lead. The 6-horse, as I suspected Larry Ravelli might encourage the jockey to do, has pulled up alongside of the 2-horse. So he did indeed send him. Everybody else, Terry, man, they're all kind of crowding up on those 2 now. I'd say there's probably about a 3-length difference between the nose of the 2 and the tail of the 3. The 6-horse has now indeed taken over for Mr. Larry Ravelli. Looks like he's got a pretty good shot to win this race at 6-5. He ended up getting bet down. Terry, the question is who's going to end up in second place right now? It looks like the 5 is making a pretty good effort to get by. The 2-horse is going to try to make another effort here, it looks like, to close in. But it does look like the 6-horse, Mr. Terry, is going to run away with this race for Mr. Larry Ravelli. But I don't know. Here comes somebody up the middle between horses, Terry. Who is that? Is that the 2-horse? Who the hell is it? That's the 3-horse. Neither one of us has. It's moving the best at the end here, Terry. The 2-horse is coming back. What in the hell is going on, Terry? All right, the 6 finds its legs again. The 6, the 3, and the 5. What a weird race. And of course, I don't have Sir Khan in my picks, but 6-horse, since indeed your winner off of that, Larry Ravelli. Circle that, folks, because a trainer like Larry, he's going to take a horse that maybe didn't come off, that didn't show speed, and next time out, going to send him the first time off the claim, I think. Want to say thank you to Rebecca Pollard Rhodes and, of course, our great friend of the show, Beverly Taylor, for the thumbs up on Facebook. If you agree with them, and Armando Garcia, thumbs up on Facebook. YouTube helps us with the algorithm, as do retweets if you're watching us on Twitter. Soon, probably by next week, we'll be available, maybe as early as tomorrow, on Instagram as well. So make sure you tell your friends about us. All right, Terry, let's tell everybody about race number 2 after that opener.
All right, let's do that. It's a 5.5 furlong race, and it's maiden claiming $16,000 claiming price, purse $20,000. It's for maidens 2-year-olds.
Yes, anything can happen race number 2. So not a whole lot of data to really work with, Terry. You got scratched out of here, but with the data that we have, it does look like one of them, Bingo was his name-o, will be Bingo is on the Lido.
Yep, got all the speed in here, it appears. I mean, a lot of them have some speed, but that 4 has all the speed. And then as far as the overlay goes, that's the 4. It's like 4 to 5, and it's even money. Other than that, I really don't see any other overlays. Par number is the 4 again, and the comfort zone is the 4 again. So you can see the 4's got numbers right across the board there. So,
So you get a little bit of a delay on John McClain. Thank you for joining us, Macklemore, on FanDuel TV. So you could predict what's going on to the people in the room around you. They'll be like, damn, he's smart. He's clairvoyant. I looking at that, Terry, again, you got the 4-horse Bingo was his name-o, grading out with all the data there. But again, 2-year-olds, so a lot of it, take it with a grain of salt. The 4, look at this, Terry, Lone E. The 6, the 7-horse is a closer. The 1, Mithrix, making its first start. You don't know what it's going to bring to the table. Everybody else, the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6 so far, haven't shown an interest in collecting a check at the end of the race. So if the 4-horse can get off to the lead by itself, looks like he's got a good shot at it, Terry. Could be very difficult to run down for the rest of these, particularly since most of them are quitters, minus the 7. 4-horse also has the top late speed in there, Terry. The closer will close, so should do its job in here. Might be difficult to catch and pass what you can't catch, Terry. That looks like it could be the 4-horse. 10 points clear of Indio Maria Amara. Anybody going to beat this 4, Terry?
Well, I think the only one that might beat it is that 7, but the 4 does be my first pick. Finished third versus Tougher on the turf in his last race, and he switches to high percentage winning jockey. He drops in class today, and he can prove while returning to dirt. Then that 7, Indio Mira, the closer, he ran second versus Tougher in his only start, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then the 6, my third pick, Horseshoe Patsy. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and has a high percentage winning jockey. 2, Dash to the Finish, drops in class today and has a high percentage winning jockey. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 4-7 with the 4-5-6, with the 2-3-5, with the 3-4-9.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 4-horse, Terry, in here. I mean, there's a lot going in its favor. The last race, its speed figure was 9 points clear of the next closest horse. That was at Monmouth. Just from the years of looking at both tracks, it seems like there's a great, like horses transition pretty easily from Monmouth to Tampa and vice versa. Maybe it's because they're both so close to the shorelines and maybe the sand underneath is similar. Any case, any of this horse's last 3 races probably wins here. Horseshoe Patsy, the 6-horse. Terry gets the second call from me. Decently bet in its debut, so a better thought there might be something there. Going to lose 7 pounds today, Terry. A little lighter load to carry. Along with losing weight, it's going to drop in class and does have some decent workouts between races and really a lot of room to be better in the second career start. Indio Mara hopped at the start of its debut, so maybe a better start. Pushes that horse a little bit closer to the front. And another one that if it improves off its debut, Terry, has a pretty good shot to be competitive for the W here. And then Dash to the Finish, the 2-horse, is the biggest class dropper in the field. Improved a lot more than perhaps it looks in its second career start. I'm just going to single that for Terry because I've come to the conclusion that when you're going to have likely favorites, you either have to dump them or you have to single them. I think it'll be a heavy favorite, the 4-horse, so I'm just going to single it and then try to find something a little bit pricier on the back end. So I'm going to go 4, 1, 4, 6, 7, 4, 5, 7, 3, 4, 11, 9, and 11. I usually put them in numerical order. But messed up.
All right.
Race number 3, Terry, take it away.
All right. In race number 3 is a 7-furlong race. It's a $5,000 claiming race with a purse of $18,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since June 20th.
And at 7 furlongs, we're going to have a couple of these in a row, Terry, 7 furlongers, I think 3 of them. So keep an eye on race number 3 to get a sense of how the track might play. Stalkers so far have done well, 24% of the time. Kobe Bryant, they've gone wire to wire. Strong rail bias, so perhaps Mambo. How about that? You got Kobe going wire to wire, and then Mambo right up on the top there. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus as well. 4 through 7 at penalty, 8 and out. Play fair, Terry. So maybe a little bit of inside or a little bit of outside speed in race number 3 can go a long way.
Yeah, well, several of them show speed, but that 3 shows the very most speed, so he'd probably get that quarter pole first. As far as the overlays go, the 1 has an overlay from like 7-2 to 6-1, and the 7 shows an overlay of 7-2 to 6-1 as well. And then par numbers 6, 7, and 4 show some pretty decent par numbers, including the 1. And then 7, 8, and 6 have the best C-zone numbers.
Yeah, it looks like the 7 and the 8 going to be the most comfortable with this pacing here, Terry. We only have the 7 in our mix there. Let's see if indeed the race sets up pretty nicely in here. There is a Sesame Street horse in here with that 7 musical cap because it's unlike any of the others. The 1, 2, 3, they want to show speed. The 4 and 6, they'll probably be right behind. That's where they want to be. The 7 can be pretty much anywhere. This handful of horses goes too fast. It'll be patient. If they go too slow, probably puts the heat on them. So early on, it does look like Mambo. Well, there's plenty of speed in here between the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 7. So I would probably look for a horse with that competitive of a jump at the beginning, with a little bit of late speed in here. That does look like the 6 horse. Cecilia is going to be right in there, as will Island Magic, a closer. Another one in here that wants to pressure. Should be in that mix. Total pace, Terry, we have a pretty competitive race except for maybe the 2-horse. Everybody's within 10 points. That's 2 lengths. That's a bump, a slow start, spinning the wheels when the gates open. Pretty competitive race in race number 3. Yet we both agree on the top horse again.
Yeah, I like that 4 Shall Return. She finished third versus Tupper in her last race, and she drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. And then the 6 is my second choice, is finishing the money in 5 out of the last 6 races. So very competitive, winning one of the starts and drops in class today. Island Magic, the 5, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 18% of the races when he ships a horse into race. And then the 7 is my long shot, Musical Cat. She ran 5th in her last race as a favorite, but the trainer wins 33% of the time when bringing a favorite back to race again. I'm going to play that second pick 4 with the 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4, 9, and 1, 5, 8.
Yeah, I got the 4 winning this race too, Terry. Again, we got a lot of agreement, I think, into the last 2 races. Shall Return is happy to return to Tampa Bay Downs. 2 wins, 2 seconds, 4 thirds in 10 races. It's a really consistent performer. You're going to get a consistent effort out of this horse. And last time out, it ran the top last race speed figure. A Mambo Dancer. I hope it doesn't upset your pick 4, Terry, but that rail is pretty strong, my friend. And I think this is one that you will see contend for the early lead today, and a lot of them go wire to wire. Celia, the 6 horse, catches a little bit of a weight break today. Another one of those horses that's consistent with a high floor, a low ceiling. Hasn't run since May the 6th, but does have plenty of good workouts to indicate the horse will be fit and firm and ready to go today. And then finally, like you, the last selection, Musical Cat, has the most back class, Terry. Decent works for this horse, prepping for its first race since September 27th. And it is that lone PC horse. So tactically, a good shot to get the best trip. And also, I mean, not only does that show up here, Terry, as the lone PC horse, but also shows up here as the top comfort zone horse. 7 should really enjoy this race today. So what do? I put him in third for my trifecta. 1, 4, 6, 1, 4 with the 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Off to race number 4 we go, Terry. Well, that's Penn National. Again, free track tonight, a guaranteed tip sheet. Link in the description below. Second of 3 in a row at 7 furlongs.
That's right. It is second 7 furlong race. It's a $16,000 claiming race with a purse of $21,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Again, 7 furlongs does favor a little bit of early speed. Tactical speed does well too, 24% of the time, wire to wire. You do a little bit better if you're on the inside or the outside. You get squeezed a little bit in the middle. Our simulations, again, are telling us, Terry, that, well, this time there is a little bit of speed on the outside. That might help.
That's right. Well, several of them show some speed, but that 7 shows the most speed, with the 5 being very close. It could be a head-and-head battle to that quarter pole. The 2 shows an overlay of about 2 to 5 to 5 to 2, and that's the only overlay I really see. The 2 and the 6 has the best par numbers, and all of them but the 3 shows some good C-zone numbers.
Yeah, I mean, 52%. So this could be like a stressful race for just about everybody in this field. Looking at race number 4, our race shape, the 5 and 7 out there by themselves, Terry. 1 and 3 with some versatility. I would expect one of these 2 to keep the 5 and 7 honest. Otherwise, there's a shot those 2 could get to the front and run 1, 2 in some order all the way around the track. 2, 4, 6, and 8. You know, with this kind of scenario, Terry, I would be looking for a reason to back speed. The 7 horse, Divisibility, and the Sweaty Fox, Divisibility, and Sea Art. Those 3, so the 6 is a left arrow horse, one that likes to close, that should be on the pace today. Late speed, Moon Rose, the closer, another closer. Look at that 6 horse there again, Terry. Should be involved at the end of the race as well. Total pace, we do see the 6 Sea Art as the top total pace horse, but you really have 4 of them. The 2, the 4, the 6, and the 7 that are pretty much a cut above the rest. How many of those do you have in your picks? Well, we don't have the 2. We don't have the 6, either one of us, and we're probably going to regret that.
Well, I have the 5 as my top pick. She won her last race at Tampa Bay Downs, has a high percentage winning trainer, and Switch is a high percentage winning jockey. And then I have the 2 Zip Code Envy. She has finished in the money in 7 of her last 10 races, winning 2 of those starts, and may improve while returning to a sprint. I like the 3 as my third pick after a few. She's finished the money in 8 out of 9 career races, so really is very competitive, likes to be there, winning 2 of those starts and drops in class. I like the long shot. Moon Rose, the 4, has won 2 out of her last 3 races, has a bullet workout on December 15th. I don't have any bits in this race.
I also start with the 5-horse, Terry. I think it's the 4th race in a row. We agree. The visibility, Jamie Ness, we're really familiar with that guy at Parks. Ships this horse down to Tampa. This horse has won both of its races going wire to wire. And as we saw in the simulations, it has a good shot to be on the lead, and its running style should put it on the lead. Should be right where it wants to be today. The 7-horse, if the 5-horse doesn't get the lead, the 7-horse will. The Sweaty Fox. Last work at Tampa Bay was really nice, as is its record at the Florida track. 3 races, 2 wins, and not too far off second. So almost undefeated in 3. Moon Rose, the 4-horse. I'm going to take a little bit of a shot here, Terry. Won her last race at Gulfstream Park. Does have some really nice Tampa Bay Downs work since coming up through the state. Finally, Zip Code MV, that 2-horse. It's going to take on a lot of money, Terry. The sim odds say it should. Real strong chance to be par plus. Highly consistent performer. But if you look at the horse's running, all of its good work and all of those numbers are on all-weather tracks. When you take the horse off to all-weather so far, it looks like a different horse to me. Prove to me you can do it on dirt before I'm willing to go with like a 2-5 or 5-2 status on that one. Race 3, the long shot, number 8 for John McLemore. Folks, think about putting that 8 in your exactas and trifectas. Thank you. If you are like John and you have some ideas, kindly share them with us. We appreciate that. I have a trifecta, 4, 5, 7 with the 4, 7, with the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe I should throw the 8 in there for good measure too, Terry. I don't think I have any money left to do it. I probably have enough, $4, but
you probably do.
Yeah, I probably do. All right. Race number 5 is the mid race in this 9-race card. It is the 3rd of 3 at 7 furlongs.
Yeah, it's a 7 furlong race, the 3rd one in a row. It's maiden claiming $10,000 claiming price. Has a purse of $17,000, and it's for maidens, 3-year-olds, and upward.
And you get extra $500 if you're a Florida owner's award right there. So
yeah,
hopefully a Florida winner gets that $500 today, Terry. They get themselves a tank of gas. 7 furlongs, as we've talked about, Terry, does favor horses that stalk. 1 out of 4 go wire to wire. Pretty strong rail for Fina. And then 8 and out, play fair. Everything in the middle gets a little bit squeezed in there, Terry. Again, so a little bit of inside speed for race number 5 could go a long way. Plenty of horses in this race, Terry, and it looks like plenty of them have some chance to get on the lead, but Ray's Gone Astray, probably the best chance.
Yeah, as you said, several has, but that 4 shows the most speed, and the one that's closest to it is the 9. So as far as the overlays, the only overlay I really see is that 11. It's almost 1.5 to 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To 4 to 1. And then par numbers is 11, the only one that has a really par number. And then the 6, 9, 5, 11, and 12 show the best C-zone numbers.
And it's 11 scoring out pretty highly across the board here, except for the lead. But being on the lead's not all that important. It looks like at the distance and surface. Overlay, good chance to run above par for this level, which is 74. Only one that had any in our simulations do it. Decently comfortable in this race shape. Looking at this race, Terry, you have another one of these Sesame Street horses in here, Terry, the 2-horse. High Jump Charlie. 5, 6, 9, and 11 want to be on the front. That'll be in the middle. These 4 want to close. These 3 haven't been within 5 lengths of the winner so far at the finish line. Maybe you can write some of those off. Looking at the early speed, Duke of Dooley could be the speed of the speed. It's actually 1 length faster than Fina. So if the 6 can clear, the 4 and the 1 has a good shot to be your pace setter. As they come around the stretch for home, the closer, like Hollywood close-up right there, Perfect Moon, which should be forwardly placed in that mix as well. Our total pace scenario, Terry, says Perfect Moon, along with that overlay, grades out about 3 points better than the rest of the field. But it looks like the 11, the 4, the 3, and the 9, all about a length better, according to total pace, than the rest of the field. maybe your exacta and trifecta is in there. And those are the 4 horses we both have, just in a little bit different order.
Yeah, I do like the 3 Hollywood Close-Up as my top choice. Ran second versus similar in his last
That's
race.
not the real reason you like Hollywood Close-Up, Terry.
I like it because that's my nickname. Anyway, has a high percentage winning trainer and who wins 17% of the sprint races. Now the trainer doesn't, but the horses he has entered do.
Well, how do you know
And
the trainer can't run fast?
Well, he might run a sprint race and win 17% of them.
He probably beat you and I 100% of the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He'll beat me every day of the year. I think I can't even go that far. So anyway, I like the 4 as my second choice. Ray's Gone Astray. He showed a lot of speed in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 9, Smart Joker is my third pick. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning jockey and can improve while returning to dirt. The 11, Perfect Moon. Your top choice is finished in the money in 3 out of the last 4 races, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. That's my long shot. No bet for me in this race.
Well, your long shot, Terry, is the simulation favorite and my top pick.
Yep.
Perfect Moon, last time out, held its speed longer. So if we look at the 11 horse in here real quick, folks, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Get down here. You can see, look, it ran a mile and 40 yards, held its speed all the way into the stretch. Today, cutting back to 7 furlongs. You know who really likes that angle, Terry? Charles.
Charles, yeah.
Number 3, Hollywood Close-Up. Your first pick, my second choice in here. Hollywood Close-Up might not look like it on paper, but his last race was better than it looks. It did run better fractions at 6.5 furlongs last time out versus the prior race at 6 furlongs. Anytime you go longer and you run faster, that's doubly fast. Ray's Gone Astray, the 4 horse, did show some early speed for the first time in its last race, Terry. Does have a maintenance work between, and I think there's a chance it'll have more stamina today if it tries to go for the front again. And then finally, Smart Joker, maybe the biggest class dropper in the field. This guy's been off, Terry, for a long time, since January. Works are solid, prepping for today. So if the horse is fresh, should be fit. Perhaps upsets trifecta 3, 4, 11 over to 3, 4, over to 2, 3, 4, 9, and 11. We got race 6, 7, 8, and 9 to go. We got 5 minutes before race number 2, Terry. So I think no problem in making our way through race 6.
That's right. And it's a 6.5 furlong, so it's shortened up a little bit. It's an optional claiming race. If you want to put it in for a claiming price, that's $75,000. The purse is $53,000. It's for Florida bred. It's for 2-year-olds which have never won a race other than maiden claimant or starter, or which have never won 2 races, or optional claiming price of $75,000.
And if you have Terry's pocket change, you can go down there today and buy Got's Got It. $75,000 you see here on the Brisnet form. He is in for a price, whereas Gorgeous Girl, there's no price for a Gorgeous Girl, Terry. They are indeed priceless, so you cannot buy a Gorgeous Girl. At 6.5 furlongs, I mean, you can privately buy it, but 6.5 furlongs, there's only been 4 races so far, so really tough to get a sense of what the true bias is. But so far, Stalkers and Speed, 2 out of 4 have won. Rail produced 2 winners, so Got's Got It. Can get it again today. You had 1 winner from post 4, 5, 6, or 7, and then 1 winner from 8 and out. Terry, it looks like with 2 out of 4 going wire to wire in race number 6, having speed will definitely be helpful.
Yeah, that's right. 5 shows the most speed, but the 1 and the 4 and the 8 have some speed there, so just never know. The 1 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 3 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 7 to 1 to 8 to 1. And the 8 shows an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 4 to 1. Par numbers, the 8 is the only one that has a par number. All of them, but the 1, 3, and 5 have decent season numbers.
And a lot of these horses don't have a whole lot of experience, so some of the numbers are a little, perhaps, not as deep as we would like them to be. But when you look at their running styles, Terry, it's pretty clear. The 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 7, they want to be forwardly placed. The 8, the 6, and the 2, especially the 8 and the 6, is versatile EP and PC types, could really get a race shape here that favors them. Early speed, if you want to be a part of this bunch up here, it does look like Extra Halo is the fastest of the fast, but he's still going to have to clear the 4, the 3, and the 1, and they got some pretty good early legs as well. Late speed, it takes charge smiling. There you go. That's a good one to be. Should be right off the pace there, Terry, right where he wants to be behind this wall of speed. The best late pace behind the PC horse in there, who also should be right about where it wants to be. Those two should really be trucking at the end, trying to catch those front runners. Does look like Take Charge Smiling so far in its limited career. It's about 6 points clear of everybody else on the total pace scenario. So if this race shapes up the way it looks like, the 8 horse should run by the speed at the end and win by a little bit more than a length. And that's the horse we both have on top.
It is, and that's what I think is going to happen. That 8 Takes Charge Smiling, won his debut race at Delaware Park and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 1, Got It, is my second choice. Won 2 out of 6 career races, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Extra Halo, the 5, is my third pick. He won his last race at Churchill Downs, his best start speed, his fastest among today's starters. And he has a good furlong workout on December 15th. I like the 3 as my long shot, Ever Do It. He won his last race at Tampa Bay Downs, has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. Use a 1-5-8. I'm going to single the 2. Then I'm going to use the 8 and 11, and then the 7, 11, and 12.
I have the 8-2 Takes Charge Smiling top selection. It is that lone EP horse, 6-point total pace edge, some really nice workouts after its debut. If there's any step forward in race number 2, it should be enough to secure the W here. Extra Halo, the 5 horse in here, Terry. Last race out of Churchill Downs, quite frankly, if it can rewind and redo that at Tampa Bay Downs, I think it can make easy work of this field. It does have a pretty solid Tampa Bay Downs work since that explosive race at Churchill Downs. So that's perhaps a liking for the track too. Got It. It's going to come down in class from a trio of non-graded stakes races. The last time he ran anywhere near this level, won with ease. I do worry, though, sometimes when young horses go up against tough competition and they don't win. Sometimes I feel like their confidence gets shook a little bit. Number 3, Ever Do It. Major step forward in its second career start. And it was the second career start was also its debut race at Tampa Bay Downs. It has a very strong workout between races. So maybe a budding horse for the course. I'm going to do a pick 4, Terry. The 5 and the 8 with the 1, 2, 6, with the 3, 8, 11, 12, with the 2, 8, 11, and 10. I really wanted to go a little bit deeper in all these races because I feel like a lot of them at the back half of the card, especially since the fields get much deeper, are a little bit more open. So they're about to get into the gates for race number 2. They're circling back towards the gates. Probably not enough time, Terry, for you and I to really break into race number 7. So we'll go back to race number 2 real quick with all of our data. Talk a little bit about tomorrow. You and I will be back to do Gulfstream Park, staying in the sunny south. And we'll show up here at about 10 minutes before post. So make sure you hit the bell, the subscribe button on YouTube while you're here so you don't miss out on any of that. Of course, on Friday, Tom and I will most likely do Shot 10 for our 4 and Friday. Not quite sure what time that'll be. So to make sure you don't miss that, Terry, what should people do?
Well, you should hit that little bell once you subscribe to YouTube, and that little bell will notify you whenever we have shows to put on. And of course, give us the likes and the thumbs up there, and also go ahead and copy the link at the bottom and share it with your friends and relatives, people that you think you want to either they're involved with horse racing, you want to get them involved with horse racing.
You either want them to become really good friends because we make good picks, or you just want to get completely rid of them because we blow their wallets.
Yeah. And, go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day, such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Threads, and give us the likes and thumbs up there. It really helps our algorithms.
Yes, it does indeed. So, and we're going to be bringing out some new stuff in 2024 that we're working on behind the scenes. You'll find some new information over at horseracingtoday.net that we think we will find useful. We're going to start covering all of the prep races as we head to the 2024 Kentucky Derby, because when the calendar changes, the road to the Derby gets more serious and the points get bigger. The consequences are greater. So we'll be covering all that to make sure that we are, and you are, as prepared as possible for the biggest day of horse racing But one of the biggest days, that first Saturday in May. Where am I? Third Saturday coming from, Terry. And you know how quickly all that'll get here, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I've read since we've gone back to a flat Earth, time is going faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw where some girl was saying, "Hey, it's 6 hours. They're 6 hours or 3 hours ahead in the east." Said if they're that way, how come they can't tell us what's going to happen in the future?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
Yeah.
How come they can't tell us? And I want to know, how is it the people in Australia hang on to the planet by their feet, Terry?
Yeah, I don't have any idea. So
Yeah, I don't have any idea either. But in any case, so they're all loading up in there, Terry, for race number 2 right now. As far as the odds are concerned, the 4-horse is your 4 to 5 favorite. We have it closer to 1 to 2 odds. So still getting some value at 4 to 5, perhaps. The next up on the board is the 7-horse, Indiomara, the one, Terry, you think has a shot to maybe upset the 4. Okay. That one's 9 to 5. I think the 2-horse, Dash to Finish, is 6 to 1, and the 1-horse is the only other one under 10 to 1 at 5 to 1 now. So some big switch on the odds right there. The 4-horse goes to 1 to 1, Terry. So you're getting, again, a horse twice the price that the simulator says it should be. Somebody is acting a little bit crazy in the gates right now, so I got a funny feeling this race might get delayed. I think the 6-horse is acting up pretty aggressively right there. Horseshoe Patsy. I think they finally calmed it down. I don't know if they're all in the gate now or not, though, because I thought I saw one horse go out, but that might have been one of those ponies. Yeah, it's one of those horses looks really uncomfortable in the gate right now. So they just backed somebody out.
Oh, boy.
I can't really see from the camera who it is they backed out of there, but
might be a scratch then, huh?
Yeah, now they're backing out another horse. Yeah, they just scratched the 5-horse. Downey's Way. So there will be a little bit of delay for race number 2, Terry.
Okay.
So we probably have enough time to make our way through race number 7.
Okay.
Let's give it a crack. You and I are usually pretty good at this.
It's a 6 furlong race, and it's 16,000 optional claiming. Purse 53,000 is for the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race other than a maiden claiming starting, or which have never won 2 races or optional claiming of 16,000.
6 furlongs, early speed, does great 35% of the time. Good enough to get to the gate. Straight into the winner's circle, Terry. Very strong rail bias for Athena's Wisdom. You get 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7 also play under par. 8 and out, a little bit of a bonus as well. So in race number 7, be fast on the inside, be fast on the outside. But, man, look at all of that speed right there by the rail.
That's right. The first 5 shows a lot of speed, with the 1 showing the most speed and the 4. And then the 1 has an overlay of even money to 5 to 2, and the 2 has an overlay of almost 2 to 1 to 3 to 1. The par numbers are the 6 and the 2, and all of them but the 2 and 3 have C zones.
Yeah, a lot of horses here should be pretty comfortable with the way this race goes pace-wise. Balanced race, again, you got 2 horses in here, unlike any of the others, the Sesame Street horses, the 7 and the 9. Just from the structure here, everybody should be about where they want to be. The 4-horse, maybe the 2-horse, Sassy Charlie, a little bit off where it might want to be. Might not get the lead, but a lot of these horses to its outside might struggle to get by it. We'll see how that plays out. Late speed, Del Rey Dolly, the PC type, got the most late speed. Could be a half a step behind Sassy Charlie. So those 2 should be in good position coming around the turn to see which one might have a best shot to win. According to our total pace, it does look like Del Rey Dolly, Sassy Charlie, Athena's Wisdom, and Read a Book. They're all a length better than the rest of the field. So maybe the 1, 2, 3, and 6, Terry, put those 4 together, exact the trifecta, cash your ticket.
All right. So I like in this race Sassy Charlie, the 2, won 4 out of the last 5 races. She has the highest last speed rating. She's has a high percentage winning trainer. She's my pick of the day. 5 Practicality is the second choice. Won her last race at Tampa Bay Downs. Has a high percentage winning trainer. The 1 is my third pick. Ran 7th in her last race, but she had a lot of trouble. The rail post winning at 20% clip, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Rita Book, the 3 is my long shot. Ran 2nd versus similar last race. Early running style helps her chances, and she should improve at the shorter distance. A $20 win on the 2.
All right, now the 7's acting goofy going into the gate. I'm going to go with Sassy Charlie. The 2 horse is my top pick. +3 in terms of its speed figure. Post position, say the second after layoff will be better than the first. Athena's Wisdom has the most back class in the field. That 1 horse in here, Terry. Some early speed, running at the lowest level of its career. Delray Dolly, the 6 horse, winner of its last 2. Perfect distance, 10 races, 6 wins, 2 seconds. Every other, 9, 2, 1, and 1. And finally, Practicality, the 5. Better fractions. All the pace numbers were better. Tampa Bay horse for the course. 3 races, 2 wins, a second. Right now in race number 2, Terry, the 1 horse has gotten off to the lead on the rail. The 3 horse to its outside. The 4 horse, the favorite, running 3 wide, Terry. Could be a difficult trip for him. The 7 horse on the outside there too. 4 lengths, 4 wide, but the jockey's asking for some out of him already. So 4 wide, asking early might be a tough ask for the 7 horse to come home as your winner. The 1 horse continues to lead the way there, Terry, on the rail. The 3 and the 4 trying to make their way. The 7 kind of went a little wide on the turn, but the horse that got the best of it all through the turn there, Terry, was that 2 horse. But that 1 horse continues, Terry, to lead the way. The 4 horse kind of blew the turn there a little bit, so probably going to struggle to find its way to the winner's circle. Going to finish second, Terry, the 4 horse. But the 1 horse is going to be your clear winner. 1, 4, and then I don't know where the hell the 7 was doing, but he was almost in the camera at the other end of the track at the finish line there, Terry. So some horses that look like perhaps the 4 and the 7 look like perhaps they were not in the best shape there. So Mithrix, the 1 horse in race number 2, is the horse that takes home the winner there at 20-1, Terry. Look at that long shot. Actually, was my next course on my picks, but unfortunately, you don't get the 5th one.
No.
And you know what's crazy? He was 20-1 morning line, went off at 4-1.
Wow.
Did we admit? Well, he was the first time starter, Terry. Is that what happened with him in that race? Race number 2? Yep, first time starter.
First time starter. Yeah, hard to know what on those horses.
Yeah, let's go back to that one because I looked at this horse here. So it said it had a sharp workout here on December 13th. I looked at that 49-1. It's an okay workout, not the best workout in there. I also looked at the trainer, 7%. So he won 1, is that, out of 27 with the first time starter, 1 out of 8 with the debut of the maiden claiming rank. So maybe a little bit something to look at there. The turf, I mean, the fast breeding 106, that was in line with a lot of the other horses in here, though, Terry. But it was a tough one for me to back from the first-time starter status because it really didn't check off only one box that I'm looking for first-time starters. So it just got the better of us, my friend.
It sure did.
Let's see. Race 7, coincidence. I played 5-13 for the area code close by, or 8-5-9 in boxes. Sometimes that makes sense to do. Race 3, long shot, number 8 coming up for John McLemore. So remember that. We talked about that. We are going to do race number 8 now, right, Terry?
Yep, we are.
All right. Well, hopefully somewhere along here we can find a winner, Terry. That's why we show up.
Yeah. Well, this one's a 6.5 furlong. It's a maiden race, $53,000 purse, and it's for maidens, fillies, 2-year-old.
Again, another one of these races where just about anything can happen, Terry. A few of them have a little bit of work on their resumes, not a whole lot. At 6.5 furlongs, you're looking for a horse that has, well, 2 out of 4 that have run so far have won wire to wire. Not enough data to really make a big deal out of it. Really not a lot of data either for a lot of horses making either their first start, second start, or third start. But from the data that we have, Terry, it looks like 3 of them are the quickest of the bunch when the gates open.
Yeah, it's the 3, 11, and 12. And then as far as the overlays go, that 3 shows an overlay from 4-1 to 6-1. The 8's got an overlay of about 8-5 to 5-1. And the 12 shows an overlay of about 5-2 to 6-1. Par numbers, the 8 and the 3 are the only 2 that have any par numbers at all. And then the 8, 11, and 12 have the highest C-zone numbers.
Yeah, again, another race that just looks like just about anything can happen in here. Interesting in that the 3 shows speed, hopes and dreams. The 8-horse wants to close, and look, all these horses here so far haven't shown anything at the end of the race in terms of finishing. The 1, 9, and 10, they're making their first start. So based upon race number 2, we should just take the 1, the 9, and the 10, forget the rest, Terry. But if that 3-horse can get to the lead, Terry probably has a good shot. The 12 and the 11 are going to be in that mix too. So far, those 2 haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader. Chance to improve here. Late speed, Fluffy, that 8-horse. The most late speed in there, probably the most experienced horse too for the closer. Probably going to have to close against this group too. Total pace, you have the 3, the 12, the 11, and the 8. Again, 6 points clear of all of the other horses that have some experience. Kind of curious what the 1 or 9 or 10 bring to the table, Terry. What picks do you bring to the table?
Well, I like the 8 Fluffy, finished 3rd versus similar last race. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey. The 11, Managing Mischief, is my second choice. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. The 12 is my third choice, has a high percentage winning trainer and a good workout on December 13th. And then the 6, You Light Up My Life, is my long shot. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 22% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint, and has a good workout on December 13th. No money for me, no bet for me because I'm out of money.
You Light Up My Life. Wasn't that like a song, Terry, like in your teenage years?
Yeah, it was. There was a movie actually that was done, and the lady sings it in there. So
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
I think Frank Sinatra was in it.
Was he?
I think so.
Old Blue Eyes?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the 11 horse, Managing Mischief. This horse debuted at Saratoga for like $137,000 maiden special weight race. The fans liked the horse. He was a well bet in that start. Showed some speed and then faded. Been off since Saratoga. The Tampa Bay works are okay, but I think the class horse of the field. Number 12, Fleur de la Cour. Either race that this horse has run in its first 2 starts, probably good enough to win here, notwithstanding any improvement from that 11 horse. Does have a maintenance work to keep the saw sharp between races. Hopes and dreams, that 3-horse, Terry. The best race that horse was its debut, then it regressed in the next 2. Trainer said maybe this is one of those horses that needs to run fresh, put the horse on the sidelines, and has some pretty good workouts getting ready for the first race since the end of September. And then Fluffy. I think that's probably going to be one of the horses that a lot of money backs there, Terry, that 8-horse.
Yeah.
It's had 7 chances to win so far, the most opportunities in this field, if I remember correctly. Has collected checks for the owner and trainer. It's got 7 races, no wins, 2 seconds, 3 thirds. Last time out showed a little bit of improvement early on in the race, as well as some faster fractions. But I'm going to give some others a chance to beat it today, Terry, that have a lighter workload so far. No bets for me either because I'm all out of money. Finally, the last race of the day, race number 9, Terry. First time today. Is this the first time we're going long today?
Yeah, we're going a distance here, a mile 16th. It's a purse of $18,000. It's a claiming race for $8,000 claiming price. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
And at a mile and a 16th, they haven't done a whole lot of them, just a handful of them. Early speed, surprisingly, doing well. 2 out of the 5 have gone wire to wire. 2 rail winners, so Pleasant Valiant might have a shot to outrun us 12-1 odds. You had 2 winners from post 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then 1 from 8 and out. So -2 and 3, everybody's shown up so far at the winner's circle. A mile and a 16th, Terry. Again, a little bit of speed might do. And it looks like we got a couple. Again, everybody has some chance to get the lead except the 11 or 12, it looks like.
Yeah, and looks like to me the 3 and the 5 may go head and head to that quarter pole. 2 has an overlay of from 7-2 to 8-1, which is pretty nice. Mm-hmm. And the 11 has an overlay of even money to 9-2, which is also pretty nice. Par numbers, the 11 and the 2 are the only 2 that have any par numbers. And then all of them but the 1 and 3 have decent C zones.
Yeah, with the 8, the bearish one, having the most likely race pace to fit its comfort level. Final time to look at the way the race shapes up, Terry. I mean, you have all this pack back here wants to close. Track favors speed. You got to think if these 4, if one of them gets out to the front or all of them get out to the front, They have a really decent shot to take the field wire to wire, like 2 out of 5 have. Guess Check and Summer All Year, they're ones that have shown they want to get to the front. That's where they want to be. The 5 horse, perhaps a left arrow horse in that mix, Terry, along maybe with the 2. Late Speed goes to the 11 horse. Gonna Be Epic. And not going to really be all that far off the pace for the closer in there, Terry. So maybe a good shot to be middle pack and then try to outrun everybody at the end. And finally, our total pace, Gonna Be Epic, the Bearish One, and Black Limo, all scoring a little bit better than everybody else. But if you kind of look at this race, Terry, all but the 12, 3, and 9 within 10 points of each other. So again, another one of those races where a step, a block, just a bad decision could be the difference between first and worst. And we have a little bit different opinions on this one.
We do, and it's a pretty wide open race, I think. I like the 12 Ember as my top choice as a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, and they added blinkers today to keep his mind in business. And then Gonna Be Epic is my second choice, the 11 horse. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. 7, Shaken and Shimmy is my third choice.
He's not in the race though, Terry, today.
Oh, he got scratched. That's right. It's right there at the end. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. So what do you want to put in its place? Do you want to put the 8 and then who's 4 behind the 8?
Put the 8 there and put the 4 as my long shot.
All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. 8 and then 4.
Yeah, so the Bearish One, he finished third versus similar in his last race, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And I don't have any information on the 4 as of right now.
So on your pick 4 at the back end, you had the 7, the 11, and the 12.
Yeah, so we can make it
the 8, 11, 12.
8, 11, and 12. Yeah, that must have been that was a late scratch, huh? Yeah, it was.
I hope it's scratched, and I just didn't check them.
No, it is. It's scratched.
Sometimes, I make mistakes. Not too often. Would be the first time in my life, not really. But all right, maybe I make a mistake with race number 9, going with the Bearish One first. Is a closer. I do think that the horse will benefit some extra distance today relative to what has been running lately. And I don't think it's going to be all that far off the pace today. Number 10, Summer All Year. As I mentioned, in the handful of races that they've had so far, the pilot or co-pilot has won most of them. Should hold one of those 2 spots today, Terry. Gonna Be Epic. It's going to try Tampa Bay Downs for the first time today. Has the most back class in the field and pretty solid at the mile and a 16th. 10 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds, 3 thirds. So shouldn't be at all affected by the length. Finally, Black Limo. Top last race. Speed figure for this guy. Going to drop in class. And if you kind of look at that last race, was deceptively fast early. So I think you're going to see that one move forward today. 4 really solid workouts between races. So that horse should be fit, Terry, and fast. I don't have any money to bet, but I think I have all 4 of these, if I remember, in the back end of my pick 4. I do. I'm hoping to get there, though, Terry. Got to get to that last race to have some will pays, right?
Yep, you sure do.
All right. So here are our full picks for the day for Tampa. So far, Terry, 1 horse got this one here in race number 2, the 6-horse one. So a little bit of a cold start for you and I, maybe because we're used to that Philadelphia weather at Parks.
Could be.
Could be indeed.
Yeah.
We'll heat up as the day goes on. Again, tomorrow, Terry and I will be back to do Gulfstream Park, about 10 minutes post for that. Make sure you tune in for that. Terry, any final thoughts before you and I part for today?
Well, I just hope everybody has a good week and watches out for the weather. And then also, I think if you really like what you saw today, which I know you did, you're going to subscribe to YouTube and give us a thumbs up and hit that little bell so you're notified. Go to our social sites and use the Horse Race, the number 2 day at Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Threads. Give us a thumbs up and a like there, and it'll help us out. And I hope you have a really good Christmas.
Indeed. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us on this hump day at Tampa Bay with Terry Hay. As always, we hope that no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, as you prepare for the holidays coming up, that you have God's favor, God's grace, and every single thing you do ends up in, of course, our favorite place, Terry. We haven't found it yet today with any of our top picks, but we will, and it is
in the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us, Terry, and I look forward to joining you for taking our talents to South Beach. Have a great day. Bye.